Is the result of a game. Victory at the cost of pain. Like a freight train, you're tied to the tracks.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world! It's your boy MegaCrasher, and I welcome you guys back to a brand new video. Now, in tonight's video, ladies and gentlemen, I present you guys with a first for, well, pretty much a long time here on this channel, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's been a long time since we've done a video like this, since we did the channel split, but now everything's merged and back together again. So, I present you guys with kind of like a discussion video for competitive Pokemon battling. More specifically, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to be discussing here in this video is February's OM or other metagame of the month, and it just so happens we actually have ourselves two OM of the months to discuss here in this video. So with that being said, and without further ado, if you guys enjoy this video, if you guys are ready to get hyped tonight, then make sure you smash the like button and subscribe for future content like this. So without further ado, let's do this! Woo! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so the first OM of the month to talk about is Pokébilities. Now, this metagame right here is just, oh my god, it's so interesting, it's so hyped, it's just, I can already just smell the shenanigans that's going to be radiating off of these Pokébility tier battles. What we got going on, guys, is a tier that actually allows for you to use all of your abilities at the same time in battle. Now, in normal play, you can only choose to use one ability at a time, but nah, in this situation here, you actually are allowed to use all of your abilities. So, if you're a Pokemon that has access to 2 abilities or more, this is going to heavily benefit you in this tier. Now, we actually have ourselves a fine example in Salamence, because Salamence has access to Intimidate and Moxie, 2 very amazing abilities, and both of which actually, funny enough, have something to do with the attack stat. Now, Intimidate is an ability that upon switching into battle, it lowers your opponent's attack stat by 1 stage, and for Moxie, whenever you KO a Pokemon, it increases your attack stat by 1 stage. Now, imagine having these 2 abilities active in the same battle at the same time, man. This is gonna just be absolutely incredible, and Salamence isn't the only star here that's gonna be shining in this tier. We have Clefable having access to both Magic Guard and Unaware, and well, it also does get access to Cute Charm as well, so we have 3 abilities here that it's gonna have access to at the same time. Cute Charm is kind of like it's situational, but my god, can you just imagine the top tier amount of trolling that would take place if Cute Charm was to activate and the opponent just ends up getting attracted by you know what I'm saying? Now, Magic Guard is already a dangerous enough ability as is, because you cannot take any damage if it's indirect. In other words, you can't take damage from entry hazards, you can't take damage from toxic or burn damage or anything like that. You also don't get affected by weather at all. And the thing is that combining that with Unaware, which craps all over setup, Magic Guard and Unaware Clefable, man, that's gonna be some top tier shenanigans up in this, man. And wow, this is just absolutely crazy. And here's the thing also, we have Hippowdon now having the combined access of Sandforce and Sandstream. So that means that this Pokemon right here, while being a wall, is going to be a Pokemon that's just gonna hit just absolutely that much harder if it utilizes Steel, Rock, or Ground type moves, which is just absolutely crazy, man. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Now, of course, with a tier like this, there are a few Pokemon that do get hit on the negative side, such as Durant, for example, because Durant is a good Pokemon by itself as long as it doesn't have access to Truant. But here's the thing, is that in a tier like this, it has no choice but to have access to Truant as well, which is a really crap ability. Like, you can only move every 2 turns. So, I mean, that's just too funny right there. But, guys, there is so much more to this, because here's the thing, is that we have ourselves some rules here. So the mechanic is that Pokemon can have all of their abilities at the same time. Now, this excludes banned or unreleased abilities. Now, actually, wait a sec. Whoa, 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 whoa. This includes unreleased abilities. Man, oh man, the shenanigans just got even more prominent here. Now, of course, we have the standard OU and evasion abilities clauses and all that stuff, so, you know, you can't use abilities that involves evasion. Now, the bans. You have your standard OU ban list. You can't use Escadrille. You can't What?! They freaking banned Bidoof up in this! That just goes to show how godly Bidoof is. But that also means you can't use Diglett, Dugtrio, Glalie, Gothita, Gothitelle, Gothorita, you know, the list goes on, and that's because they have access to certain abilities that are banned. So, you know, for example, in the case of Bibarel, it has access to Moody. Moody is banned. You know, Arena Trap is banned, so that means that Diglett and Dugtrio can't be used. You know, Moody, Glalie, you got Shadow Tag for Gothita, Gothitelle, Gothorita. You know, the list goes on, right? But, man, oh man, this is just absolutely crazy. So, okay, let's go ahead and let's keep going here. So just to clarify a couple of things, actually, before we go ahead and we move on, two very important questions have been asked here. What happens if a Pokemon gets traced as an innate ability? Now, the thing is that this actually got fixed. It's now supposed to copy an innate ability from the opponent at random. Now, this right here, okay, this question and the answer, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you mean to tell me that Mega Pokemon kind of get a little bit screwed here in this situation? Because get this, okay, do Mega Pokemon keep the innate abilities after Mega Evolution? The answer, no they do not. All they have access to is their standard Mega Evolutionary abilities. So, in some situations, you're much better off not using Mega Evolutions because that means that you're not going to reap the benefits at all from using Mega Evolutions and their single ability in this tier. You're much better off using Pokemon that have access to multiple abilities, if you know what I'm saying. Now, we actually have ourselves some more examples of just how dangerous some of these Pokemon here are in this tier. We have Porygon Z getting access to Adaptability, Download, and Analytic at the same time. All three of these abilities have properties that allows for you to increase your damage in one way or another. Adaptability, you know, it increases the damage of your stab attacks. We have Download, which increases either the attack or the special attack by one stage. And we have Analytics. So say if you had an opponent that moved before you, the next attack that you end up using is going to do 30% more damage. So you combine all three of these abilities, man, you got a monster up in this. Holy moly. And the fact is, this Pokemon still gets access to Z conversion. So, I mean, that's just ridiculous, you know. That's just amazing, you know. We also have ourselves another example here being Alolan Marowak. Because here's the thing, is that it now is allowed to use Rock Head in conjunction with all of its other abilities, right? Which means that its Flare Blitz attack is going to have no recoil whatsoever. So, yeah, you don't have to use Fire Punch anymore to avoid recoil, guys. You can use Flare Blitz, which is just going to absolutely rock the house, burn that shit to the ground, and it's just going to be absolutely just wow, you know, it's just going to be absolutely crazy. Now, we have Escadrille here, which actually, you know, in the earlier portion of this video, highlighted getting banned because of the fact that it has three amazing abilities. And to have all three of them being used at the same time in battle, like we're talking Mold Breaker, which ignores abilities of the opponents. We're talking Sand Rush, which doubles the speed under the effects of sand. And we're talking Sand Force, which increases the damage of Steel, Rock, and Ground-type moves by 30%. And having access to all that, plus its move pool and stats and all that, I can understand why it got banned. It's just too damn broken, you know? It's just too damn broken, you know? This is just absolutely crazy, you know? Like, we also have the fact that Azumarill now has a grass immunity because now it has access to Sap Sipper, and it's just gonna be absolutely crazy. Sap Sipper increases the attack stat by 1 stage whenever it gets hit by a grass type move, and it has an immunity to boot. So I mean, the only move that it would be weak against would be a poison type move. So, oh, and electric as well. So that's 2 types that it still is weak against. But still, like, that's just crazy. And the thing is also is that now Ferrothorn, you know, this is another example right here. Ferrothorn with the ability Anticipation can actually scout for any super effective moves that the opponent happens to have in store against it. Like, man, like, I just don't even know what to say. Like, this is just absolutely insane, you know? Like, I'm going to leave a link to this article in the description box down below. We're not going to go through everything piece by piece. I just kind of wanted to give you guys an introduction and a reaction / discussion to this, this OM of the Month tier. Like, I just don't know what else to say. Like, we have Komodo now having access to all 3 of its amazing abilities, that being Bulletproof, Soundproof, and Overcoat. So that means sound moves are no longer going to be a thing. You know, certain moves with Bulletproof are going to no longer be an issue. And we got Overcoat, which allows for it to have an immunity to powder moves and weather damage. So Komodo is just going to be absolutely ridiculous, man. It's just going to be absolutely crazy. And there are many more Pokemon that just benefit hardcore from this tier, you know. Pelipper with the likes of Rain Dish and Drizzle. We got Gigalith now being able to set up Sandstorm and deal a good amount of damage with Sand Force. And given the fact that it kind of reminds me of a Rock-type version of Metagross, I mean, its base 135 attack is just utterly ridiculous. It's utterly crazy, you know. Like, that's just amazing. You know, there are so many Pokemon that there is to talk about here in this part of the video, but we would be here all night if we were to do that, you know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and let's move on. Okay, like, let me navigate you guys to Pokemon Showdown here real quick, just to kind of drive the point home and to put more of a perspective here so everybody can understand the magnitude of just how crazy this tier is going to be. So, we have Pokemon that have access to 2 or more abilities. Like, you want to pretty much ignore the Pokemon with only 1 ability, because even though, you know, like, there's some Pokemon, you know, like, having access to Beast Boost and all that stuff, that's a pretty good ability by itself. But here's the thing, you want to take as much of an advantage as possible of Pokemon that have access to 2 or more abilities, you know? Like, for example, if you go ahead and we scroll down here, Hawlucha, right? Hawlucha actually has the abilities Limber, Unburden, and Mold Breaker. So, I mean, this Pokemon right here is a very fine example of a kind of Pokemon that you should use, you know, having access to 3 abilities and all that stuff. Like, let's just keep going here. So, let's see. So we have Magnezone with Magnapulse, Sturdy, and Analytics. So, I mean, this Pokemon right here cannot be knocked out in 1 hit if it doesn't take any prior damage. It has access to Magnapulse, which traps Steel-type Pokemon, and given the fact that it's naturally slow as it is, Analytic is going to kick in and deal more damage. Like, look at this. This Pokemon's attack now has 1.3 times power if it is the last Pokemon to move in the turn. So, I mean, that's just ridiculous right there. Like, let's just see what else we got going on here, you know? We have Serperior, okay? Serperior has access to 2 abilities here, but both abilities are actually really good. We got Contrary, which allows for it to spam Leaf Storm, so rather than losing 2 stages of your special attack, you're gaining 2 stages of your special attack with the use of Leaf Storm. And Overgrow is an ability that boosts the power of Grass-type moves by 50% when you're at 33% or below of your health. Now, that's just going to make Leaf Storm just even more stupidly overpowered, you know? We also have ourselves, you know, access to Toxapex with, you know, Merciless, Limber, and Regenerator, so we can pull off some shenanigans right there. We have ourselves Alakazam with Synchronized, Inner Focus, and Magic Guard, so it can't get flinched, and anytime that you try to status it, it's going to, you know, synchronize, and you're going to get the status right back as well if it's burn, poison, or paralysis. And we got Magic Guard here, so I mean, Magic Guard, That's just ridiculous. And then we got Azumarill having access to the likes of Thick Fat, Huge Power, and Sap Sipper. Thick Fat reduces the damage of fire and ice type moves by 50%, so that gives it more resistances. We got Sap Sipper, like I mentioned earlier, which gives it a grass immunity and a +1 attack boost whenever it gets hit by a grass type move. And Huge Power doubles the attack stat, so this is going to be a Pokemon to watch out for. We got ourselves the likes of Breloom as well, which has access to Effect Spore, Poison Heal, and Technician. Oh man, that's just crazy. And Conkeldurr, okay. Conkeldurr is going to be an absolute boss here in this tier, because all 3 of these abilities are just absolutely amazing. So, okay, I'm going to do an on-the-spot set here for you. So we're going to go for Assault Vest, we're going to go Drain Punch, we're going to go Mach Punch, we're going to go Thunder Punch, and we're going to go Ice Punch. But you can also utilize the likes of, Knock Off if you want, Fire Punch, things like that. Poison Jab, I believe it gets Poison Jab. Let's just, do a little, yes, it does get Poison Jab. So, here's the thing, guys, is that this Pokemon, it has access to Guts, which means that if it was to be statused by Burn, Paralysis, or Toxic, its attack stat would be boosted by 50%. That is already a scary as shit ability right there. We got Sheer Force, which is an ability that removes the secondary effects of certain moves, but boosts the power of those moves by 30%, so there's an even bigger buff right there. And last but not least, we got Iron Fist, which boosts the power of punching moves by 20%. So that means Drain Punch, boosted, Mach Punch, boosted, Thunder Punch, boosted, Ice Punch, boosted, that's just... Oh my god, man, that's just ridiculous. And not to mention also, if you really want to go balls to the walls, if you really want to go gimmicky, then you can go for Power Up Punch if you want, which also, funny enough, gets boosted by Iron Fist. Now, I think actually the attack boost gets nullified by Sheer Force because it counts as a secondary effect. So maybe stay away from Power Up Punch if you know what I'm saying. But this right here just kind of goes to show that this Pokemon right here is going to just be absolutely massive. And just look at those stats, man. And with Assault Vest patching up its special attack, GG, buddy. That's all I gotta say is GG. Alright, guys, so now let's move on to the second OM of the month, known as Hidden Type. Now, this is also a very interesting tier. I believe we actually have experience with this tier, but basically, ladies and gentlemen, what this tier is about right here is Pokemon now have access to an additional typing depending on what hidden power they have. So say, for example, if you got Hidden Power Ghost on Chansey, rather than it being just a pure normal type, it now becomes a normal and ghost type. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's just absolutely shenanigans right there. Like, this is also another tier that is going to be filled with a great deal of shenanigans. So, what is Hidden Type? The Pokemon's Hidden Power type, will be added to its type if it does not have that type. For example, if Heatran has the IVs for Hidden Power Flying, then it will become a Fire, Steel, and Flying type. So I almost recommend actually using Heatran with Hidden Power Flying, so that way it no longer has to worry about its 4 times weakness to ground. Like, that's just, oh man. I can already just smell the shenanigans that's going to be taking place right here, Wow, like, I am absolutely baffled by how crazy February is going to be with OM of the month, We got Pokébilities, we've got Hidden Type. This is just ridiculous. How does it work with Mega Evolution, someone asks? It works the same way. Mega Pinsir with the IVs of Hidden Power Ground become Bug, Flying, and Ground, which basically means, man, that this Pokemon is going to have Stab on Earthquake. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. Now, how does it work with Color Change Conversion and Protean? They remove all the Pokemon's type, including Hidden. For example, Protean Greninja with the typing of Water, Dark, Grass will only become a Water type if it uses Hydro Pump. So it's best that you almost don't even use... Well, I mean, you can use Greninja if you want, but if you want to reap the benefits of having additional typings, then try to stay away from using Pokemon whose abilities change the typing and end up becoming a singular typing. You know what I'm saying? Now, how does it work with camouflage and soak? Okay, so same case scenario here. The Pokemon loses all of its types. How does it work with Transform and Imposter? The Hidden Type is not copied. How does it work with Reflect Type? The Hidden Type is copied. And how do Force Curse and Trick or Treat work? They replace the Pokemon's third type. So, oh man, I was gonna say, like, this right here could be a huge possibility that a Pokemon would have 4 types. Quadruple typing, bro. That's just absolutely crazy. Like, man, this is just crazy, you know? So, okay, so we have ourselves some sample teams right here. So we have ourselves Steel Tapu Lele, we have Water type Clefable, we got Steel Dragonite, Grass Heatran, Water Gliscor, and Ground Mega Gyarados. So those are all additional typings right there. And here's the thing. Having Steel typing on a Dragonite is actually just, oh my god, oh my absolute god, this is going to be absolutely massive. It's going to be crazy because that means that it no longer has to worry about having a 4 times weakness to ice. It's only going to have a 2 times weakness to ice. And if I'm actually not mistaken, like, I think this actually makes it so that Dragonite is only weak to ice, because the thing is that, you know, Steel and Flying normally would be weak to fire and electric, but because of its Dragon typing, it's only going to take neutral damage from that. Oh my god, that's just ridiculous. Like, this tier is just going to be absolutely crazy, man. It's just going to be absolutely crazy. Like, I don't know what else I can say about this tier, you know? Like, this is just going to be crazy, you know? Like, that means that Pokemon, you know, such as, for example, Kartana, having access to Sacred Sword, you know, that means that it could actually become a Grass, Steel, and Fighting type. Like, oh my god, that's just crazy. And, like, Steel type Mega Sableye as well, man, that's just gonna be ridiculous. Like, there is so many possibilities. Like, we definitely gotta do some Pokemon Showdown live battles for these tiers right here. And y'all can count on that, man. We are going to be hitting it up like there's no tomorrow, man. So with that being said, I think it's as good as time as any to wrap up this video. And I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. And also, if you made it up to this point, I have a request. If you guys are good at team building, please send me some teams in the comments down below for me to try out here when we do future Pokemon Showdown live battles. And I will also link you guys to the articles that we use in this video in the description down below. So with that being said, guys, I say thank you guys so very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to smash the like button and subscribe for future content from your boy. And finally, have yourself a good night. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next upload.